Hello, LP Brown artists. Welcome back to another week of art. This week, our prize winners are Bronx in Miss Hargrave's class and Jayana in Miss Mortenson's class. So those two students will receive some special art supplies at the next supply pickup. For the next couple weeks, we are going to learn about the Caribbean, a tropical place with lots of sunshine and beautiful beaches. The Caribbean is an area made up of over 7,000 islands and coastal areas. Some of the places that you might recognize are Cuba, Puerto Rico, Aruba, Jamaica, the Bahamas. And lots of people enjoy visiting the Caribbean because it's warm, it's a tropical climate, and lots of bright blue waters and sandy beaches. If we were to go on a field trip to the Caribbean, I wish we would get on an airplane and fly. We can see us up here all the way south down to the Caribbean Sea, and we'd go to one of the islands here. The Caribbean Sea is not only gorgeous looking at it from outside, but when you go under the water, it's filled with coral reefs and beautiful fish and creatures. It's one of the deepest, it's one of the lowest points in the Earth's surface. It's 25,000 feet down at the deepest spot. It's home to lots of sea life, including coral reefs. The landscape, there's a variety of different types of land. Some islands are flat, while others have volcanoes and are steep. Like I mentioned before, there's lots of beaches, but there's also areas that are desert and they're covered in cacti, and there's also tropical rainforests and mountain peaks. So you get a whole variety of landscapes and ecosystems. So you could visit an island and spend weeks just exploring all the different landscapes. Because the Caribbean is tropical, there's a large variety of plants. So many plants like the moist tropical climate of the rainforest. There's bright flowers, huge ferns, lots of different types of fruit. And one of the most recognizable trees in the Caribbean is, of course, the palm tree. Palm trees are found throughout the Caribbean, and Cuba has over 300 types of palm trees alone. Hey everybody, so this week I'm going to show you how to draw this big rolling wave landscape, so you can follow along with that if you want, or draw your own creation inspired by the Caribbean. All right, we're going to start with a plain piece of paper and a black crayon or pastel or marker, whatever you have handy. In the middle of the paper, I'm going to draw a cloud shape, and this is going to be like the sea foam coming from the wave. Next, I'm going to create the wave curving over, and it's going to start from this cloud shape and curve around to the bottom of my paper. Next, I'm going to add more of those lines. It's going to look kind of like a rainbow. You could even do that if you wanted. That would be cool. Curving lines down. I'll do one more. Okay, so the wave is in the foreground. It's in the front of the picture, so it's going to be very large. Next, we're going to draw the horizon line where the ocean and land meet inside the barrel of the wave. So it's going to be right about here, the horizon line. Everything that's here and here is going to be in the background of the scene, so it's going to appear small. So anything you draw there is going to be small, and it's going to create a sense of space in our composition. I'm going to add some wavy lines to show that there's some vegetation, maybe some trees and hills. Next, I'll draw a palm tree in the background. Again, it's a small palm tree because it's in the background. I'm going to color it in black. Maybe have the sun peeking out over here. Next, I'm going to use some crayons. If you have pastels, those would look awesome. And I'm going to add some different blues into my waves. Let's see. So within the lines here, I'm going to add some curves of different blue. So I'll add some wavy lines here to show movement. Oh, that was supposed to be the wave. Okay, next up I am going to paint my wave. Well, my plan was to do a time lapse, but it didn't film. So here's my wave painting that magically appeared. I did some blues and greens. If you want, an extra special thing that you could add is as you're painting, while the paint is still wet, sprinkle some salt on the wet paint and see what happens. Next, I'm going to create a sunset or a sunrise and add some orange and pink and reds to my sky. And then it's also going to reflect on the water too. Here's my finished wave with the sunset. I hope you had fun with this project. Experiment with things like adding different details. You could add like a surfer in here. Let me know if you try out the sprinkling of the salt on the wet paint and what happens with that. And make sure you share your artwork on Schoology.